They're 3 games up on the Oakland A's. Houston is 13-6, 8-2 in their last 10 games. Oakland is 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're 10-9. Texas is 9-11. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, California, are 9-12. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. Seattle's 8-12. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. In the National League East, Washington is 13-6 or 8-2 in their last 10 games. Miami's 10-8, 2.5 games back. Philadelphia is 9-9, they're 3.5 games back. Now Miami and Philadelphia are both 6-4 in the last 10 games. Philadelphia has won 4 games in a row. The Mets they've lost 4 games in a row. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. They're 8-11. They're falling apart. The Mets fans are really, really angry at their Metsies. I don't blame them. This is a really good team, ladies and gentlemen, and it's only April. It's over for the Mets. Let's just say it's over for the Mets. They can't come back from this. They're 5 games out. There's no way. Yeah, they'll do it. They'll do it. Hey, don't give up on the Mets fans. And I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I know. Being a Brewers fan, I know it's frustrating. Don't give up on your team, man. I think they're going to come back. Atlanta's 6-12 and in last place. Central Division of the National League, the Chicago Cubs are 5-5 in their last 10 games, and they're 11-8. They're 1.5 games up on Cincinnati, who's 10-10. The Milwaukee Brewers are in third place. They're 10-11, only 2 games out. Now the Brewers are 4-6 in their last 10 games. Cincinnati is 3-7 in their last 10 games. The St. Louis Cardinals have won 3 games in a row over the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're very happy about that. They're 6-4 in the last 10 games. They're now at 9-10. Pittsburgh is in last place, and I think Pittsburgh might have a chance of end up in last place. A lot of problems in Pittsburgh, 8-11, but they're only 3 games out. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Out west, the Colorado Rockies are 14-6. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've won 4 games in a row. They're 7-3 at home, 7-3 on the road. People in Denver are loving it. People in Denver are loving it. Sales of Coors have got to be through the roof. It won't last long. Arizona's 13-8. They're 6-4 in the last 10 games. They're a game and a half back. They're 9-2 at home and 4-6 on the road. The Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California, are 9-11. They're 5 games back. San Diego's 8-13. They're 6.5 games back. And the San Francisco Giants are 7-13. They're already 7 games back, and they're 3-7. In their last 10 games. It's only April, folks. A lot of this is going to flip-flop and switch. It really, really is. That's what I'm saying. Don't give up on the Mets. I know Mets fans want to give up on them. I know that Frank Fleming, he just wants to give up on the Mets. He's frustrated. He's going to go back down into the subways and just wander around forever. I know he is. I know Gary Mack is frustrated. I know Barry's frustrated. Don't give up on the Mets, man. Don't give up on the Mets. There you go. Got to say something positive about the New York Mets. I mean, this team with that pitching, really should be in first place. Really should be in first place. But we'll see. It's early. Terry Collins will turn it around, and if he doesn't, fire him. Throw him out. Rebuild the team. I'm serious. Trade Noah Syndergaard to the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll give you Matt Garza. Give him Matt Garza. How does that sound? So don't give up on the New York Mets or the New York Yankees. Don't give up on the Yankees. The Yankees will come back. Don't give up on anybody. It's only April. It's only April. And let me tell you something. The Brewers would not be 10-11 if it was not for Eric Thames. If it was not for Eric Thames, the Milwaukee Brewers would not be 10-11. We would be maybe 5-6 victories. And then other people that have baseball programs would have to do a 4 or 5 minute little thing about how Brewers fans shouldn't give up. They shouldn't give up. Don't give up, Brewers fans. It's only April. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're just going to ramble on some more. We're just going to ramble on. We're going to talk some baseball. We're going to try to make sense of everything. We'll do that right after this. You're listening to the big show. We call it Brewtownsports.
The 0-1 pitch. Swings it in! He's got it! 3,000 to Robin.
Welcome back to the big show. We call it Brewtown Sports. Look for us on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter is Brewtown Sports. On Facebook is Mr. Brewtown. You can join the Facebook group, True Blue Brew Crew. Listen to the show at BaseballTalkRadio.com, Spreaker, Podomatic, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, and iTunes.com, and the 405media.com, Super Live Talk, and Righteous Podcast. You can email the show at MrBrewtown78@gmail.com. I got an idea. I'm going to throw it out there for you. If you like it, email me at MrBrewtown78@gmail.com. I think what I'm going to do for the next show is I'm going to get stinking drunk and do the program. And then what I want is all of the listeners to also be stinking drunk. I mean, we're talking fall down drunk here, people. Not, I had 8 or 9 or maybe 10 cocktails. I'm talking fall down, stinking drunk. And we'll see how the program goes. I've always wanted to do... I'm going to expose a little secret about myself, and I worked at the big radio station. I did do a program after having a couple of beers. But it wasn't really my fault because they called me in at the last minute because somebody else evidently had gotten drunk. And they called me in, and I'd already had 2 beers. And I said, you know what, I think I'm fine. I forgot to do the weather, but that's okay. So I think I'm going to do that. So let me know at MrBrewtown78@gmail.com if you think that I should do the program drunk and that all the listeners should listen when they're stinking drunk. Tonight, the Brewers taking on the Cincinnati Reds right here in the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Miller Park. Game time is at 6:40. Zach Davies is on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's 1-2 at an 8.24 ERA. He's making his 5th start of the season and 2nd against the Reds. Davies started last Thursday against St. Louis and picked up a 7-5 victory. He has not made a quality start this year. The team is 1-3 in his starts. Opponents are batting .345 against him. And last Thursday, not a bad line, 5 and 1/3 innings pitch. He gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, walked 2, struck out 5, gave up 1 home run, and had 1 wild pitch. So maybe Zach Davies is turning around. 1-2 at an 8.24 ERA. He'll take on the Cincinnati Reds tonight. And he's facing Scott Feldman. Tomorrow, the Milwaukee Brewers will have Willie Peralta on the mound. He's 3-1 and a 4.71 ERA against Tim Alderman, who's 0-0 and a 2.70. Then Thursday, they have the day out. Then they start a 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. And Chase Anderson, Jimmy Nelson, and Matt Garza are the pitchers announced for that series. So, I can't wait for Sunday. Matt Garza against the Braves. Matt Garza against the Braves. That should be fun. I think it's going to be a sellout. Everybody wants to see that game. There you go. Let's take a look at some of the scores or some of the games that are on the schedule for tonight. Around Major League Baseball, Houston's in Cleveland to take on the Indians, Rays and the Orioles, the Cubs and the Pirates in Pittsburgh, Marlins and Phillies in Philadelphia, Braves and Mets in New York. New York's saying, man, I'm happy the Braves are here. I'm happy the Braves are here. The Mariners and Tigers in Detroit, Cincinnati in Milwaukee. Take on the Brewers. Twins are down in Texas to take on the Rangers. Royals and White Sox on the south side of Chicago. The good guys, the Chicago White Sox. Blue Jays in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals. Nationals and Rockies in Denver. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the game of the night. Nationals 13-6. Rockies 14-6. There you go. Wow, that's a great game. That's a great game. Padres and D-backs in Phoenix. Athletics and Angels in Anaheim. Dodgers and Giants up in San Francisco. Yankees and Red Sox. That game has been postponed over at Fenway Park. And so some great games on the schedule for tonight. Let's take a look on the state in baseball history for April 25th. All the way back in 1995, the 257-day strike ended when the Dodgers beat the Marlins 8-7. The work stoppage canceled the season before to end early, forcing the cancellation of the World Series and delaying the opening of that season for 1995. And a lot of people had said they were never coming back to baseball. And within a year or two, hey, guess what? They were back to baseball. Thank you, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa, for helping to bring all those people back. On this date in 1997, the Indians established a team record, hitting 8 home runs in one game when Matt Williams, David Justice, Manny Ramirez, Sandy Alomar, and Chad Curtis all go deep in 11-4 rout of the Milwaukee Brewers at Oak County Stadium, with the additional 3 homers slammed by Milwaukee. The teams combined to tie a major league mark for round trippers in a 9-inning night game with 11. So Matt Williams had 3 home runs. David Justice had 2 home runs. Man, oh man. On this date, 1998, the Ironman streak continues when Cal Ripken plays in his 2,500th consecutive game, an 8-2 Orioles victory over Oakland at Camden Yards. The Baltimore third baseman goes 2 for 5, knocking in 3 runs during that milestone contest. Also on this date, back in 2000, honoring the work stoppage called by Cuban Americans over the Elian Gonzalez immigration controversy, Marlins Alex Fernandez, Vladimir Nunez, Michael Tejera, and Mike Lowe, the Devil Rays Jose Canseco, and Mets Ray Andornas and Cookie Rojas did not participate in Major League action. The protest stemmed from the Federal District Court's ruling that the 5-year-old boy must be returned to his father in Cuba, taken away from the mother the relatives that were living in Miami. Not a good time in our history. On this date in 2012, David Wright becomes the Mets' all-time RBI leader with 735 runs batted in when he hits a 2-run home run in the team's 5-1 victory over the Marlins at Citi Field. The 29-year-old third baseman passes Darryl Strawberry's franchise mark with his 6th-inning blast off of Mark Burley. So that's on this date in baseball history. And you know what? Every day is a great day in baseball history. So there you go. Check it out. If you got young kids, man, get them in tune with baseball history. Get them in tune with baseball history. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. They'll love you forever. So there you go. Once again, Eric Thames is on fire. He's just on fire, man. He's carrying the Brewers. He really is carrying the Brewers. He said, hey, get on my back. Get on my back, man. I'll take you there. I'll get you there. And then when I start to fall off, then Ryan Braun or Shaw or Villar will jump on your back. So, and that's how you start building a winning team. That's how you start building a winning team. So, congratulations to Eric Thames, who I said was, probably going to have to adjust to playing in the major leagues again. Evidently, he did. And now we'll see if the rest of the league adjusts for him. Big Brewer game tonight. Brewers 10-11, Cincinnati Reds 10-10. Game time, 6:40. Miller Park. Miller Park is where that game is going to be played. Well, that's pretty much our show for today. Hey, I hope you enjoyed it, because as always, I sure enjoyed giving it to you. You are listening to The Big Show. We call it Brewtownsports. Find us on Twitter and Facebook at Brewtownsports and Mr. Brewtown. The group is True Blue Brew Crew. You can listen to the show at BaseballTalkRadio.com, Spreaker, Podomatic, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, at iTunes.com, the 405Media.com, Super Live Talk, the Righteous Podcast. You can email the show at Mr. Brewtown78 at gmail.com. Have a good day, everybody. Broadcasting from the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Mr.